on Ben McAdoo, as I mentioned, third coach that's been hired from the outside with ties to Elliott Wolf. Again, he has the network, the experience. I landed on a C+. I said C in the last episode, but I've gotten a little more optimistic on Alex Van Pelt. I can't go any higher than a C- with Ben McAdoo. It's not because I don't like the cut of his jib. It's because this guy has been out of football for 3 years in the last 5 or 6. He's not held the job for longer than 1 year. A lot of that has been due to regime change, but he's also not coached a top 10 scoring offense anywhere in any capacity since 2015. Kind of an issue to me, Ma. I don't know about you.
Yeah, that's why I think him and Van Pelt in particular, this is the major question mark. You know, Van Pelt, when the team was healthy last year, and again, he didn't call the offense, but like it was a top 10-ish offense, like 11th DVOA offensively a year ago. Well, they were banged up this year, and they were not a good offense. The year where Van Pelt was able to call an offense in Buffalo, they were one of the worst offenses in the NFL. Now you bring back, like, Ben McAdoo's an NFL meme. Like, he's just, they had that picture of him on the sideline there in New York and showing up for games. He's just someone that fans laugh at. There's no positive, like, this guy's done X, Y, and Z recently in the NFL. It goes back to your point about Elliott Wolf. Like, these are his guys. He's going to sink or swim with, 53-year-old Van Pelt, 3 years out of football, McAdoo. Like, it doesn't feel like a super modern approach. And the whole thing for me was modernizing the coaching staff, modernizing the front office, and trying to catch up with the current state of the NFL, which is super offensively motivated. It's why I get the McVay guys are probably hired too quickly. But if I'm an owner, I do the exact same thing. What's working now in the NFL? Who's the godfather? Let's go bring these guys in. It used to be if you had Patriots cologne on you, as Chris Price would say from the Globe, you'd get hired. Well, now it's McVay. And they're doing it a little bit differently. And in a league where now, if you're not good offensively, you don't exist, in my opinion. This is a gamble, man. You are hoping that guys who have not been on high-level, high-octane offenses are now going to come in year one, Jerod Mayo, who does represent kind of a new school approach, like younger coach, gets along with play. Like, I get that part of it. But he's being surrounded with some older, second and third generation NFL pieces that are not part of that modern offense we're seeing every single Sunday across the league. So it is concerning that Wolf is hanging his hat on these guys who are not front and center in today's NFL offense.
New customers join today and you get $200 in bonus bets if your first bet of $5 or more wins. Just visit FanDuel.com/Boston to sign up. That's FanDuel.com/Boston. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.
That's an excellent way to put it. And I want to step back before I jump in, because Ben McAdoo, just like Alex Van Pelt, people going, okay, the Patriots hire an offensive coordinator. They empower him to make his own hires, which was a problem last year, as Doug Kyde and I reported, when Bill O'Brien comes in with his lunch pail and his tight ends coach, and that's it, and has to put all this chicken salad out there from Chicken Bleep. Now that Alex Van Pelt gets to hire guys, and he hires someone who's not only been a head coach, but an offensive coordinator and a quarterback's coach, this is a bad move. I hear you. If you want to be the optimist on this, I say do it. That's a lot better way to live. You will live longer. You will be happier. And then we'll see in September. I would just say again, though, Ben McAdoo coached Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers was already a made man in the mid-2000s. Yeah. It was 2 years as his position coach. Did good work as the Giants OC. Okay. Bombed as their head coach. And the thing that you nailed is not only that he's not at the forefront on the cutting edge of NFL offense today, his arrival indicates to me that Alex Van Pelt is going to double down on those old McCarthy offenses, which are the tried and true West Coast system. The same concepts. They're more static. There's not as much motion. Okay. And that offense works like it did for McAdoo when you're in New York and you've got OBJ in his prime, or McCarthy now with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. But it's a matchup based offense. We're going to do a couple things that have stressed defenses for decades. And because our guys are better than yours, it's going to work. Oh, but all of this, jet motion or other motions of Mike McDaniels drawing up Miami. No, we don't need that. And that to me is an issue, because the personnel in New England is not winning any one-on-ones anytime soon. I don't need the matchup-based offense. I need the offense that's going to give my guys and my young quarterback every single advantage possible, like we've seen in LA, like we've seen in San Francisco, and even Miami. And Ben McAdoo is as far away from that as we've seen the last 8-10 years.
It's a great point. And I want to forget the two teams in the Super Bowl. Those are pretty obvious. Go back to the championship weekend when you saw the Detroit Lions play. Like Jared Goff is able to be effective as a quarterback. We know he's not a great quarterback. He's, upper half in the NFL, but he's not in the top 5, not top 8, not top 10. But when you put Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, Jamison Williams, who looked better than any skill position player the Patriots had in the last maybe year or two with that explosive run that he had for a touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs, who I wanted the Patriots to take. These are like blue chip offensive elite talents, and they make the quarterback's life easier. Who is doing that here? You're not doing that in one offseason. Like you're not revamping. You're not getting enough guys to make it work in one offseason. So your point is well taken. Like, yes, I have bitched and moaned about the coordinator and the offense for a year, 2 years. Since Matt Patricia was calling plays, it's been an issue. But the bigger issue is that they need players now. Like Van Pelt might be the greatest coordinator in the history of football. He's not getting it done with these Patriot skill position guys wheeling it back. I mean, they had a guy here, Jonnu Smith, who can get on the field. He goes to Atlanta, Callahan, and he's one of the most electric tight ends in the NFC. He's playing over Kyle Pitts, and now I'm yelling on a podcast. So find some offensive talent, and then I get, not to say figure it out, but they need those players. They don't have them to make your scheme you're talking about work because they don't have those players. So it's a fun theory. We'll do what these other teams are doing. They lack so much talent on offense, it's not even funny.
And that's the overarching point, right? Which works two ways. One of which is to say, stop freaking out about Ben McAdoo. And I just explained why I don't like the hire. His title ultimately is senior offensive assistant, not quarterback's coach, not coordinator. There's only so much damage you can do when you're theoretically sitting in the corner of the room, okay? So he'll sit there, and that's fine. And no one should freak out about this, even though this is New England and I just decried the hire. That being said, if the coach is sitting in the corner of the room or he's out to lunch, it matters a whole lot less if you have players like you just mentioned. And the Lions took 3 years to rebuild, and they nailed their drafts. And the talent, it sounds so obvious and simple, but it's true, is the talent, whether you're in New England or Detroit or San Francisco or Kansas City, and that is what matters most. So as the staff comes together, and it's certainly underwhelming, there are a lot of floor raisers here. I think Alex Van Pelt is a floor raiser. He's going to get along with his guys. He's going to do his best as an ex-player to connect with them and draw up an offense that's sound. Is it sexy? No. But the Patriots are so far away from sexy. Man, you just need someone to invite you to the dance, okay? You don't need to do every single step to every single dance. You just got to get on the floor. They'll help them do this. How long they're here, I don't know. So, again, the talent is that bad that this is a wrong offense for them, I think. But it can't get much worse. And so I would just say I don't like the Ben McAdoo hire. I'm not going to freak out about it. We're going to stop yelling in this podcast.